All right, guys, and we are live, and welcome to another episode of Foreign and Domestic with myself, the Crazy Scotsman, and my good brother Alan B. Pro. What's up, man?
Hey, it's been a great and wonderful week for me. Much money has been spent. But before I actually start off in reading out where the side chat is, I'd like to do one thing if people wouldn't mind joining me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. The people out there in the side chat, participants list is currently reading at BEM Freedom. Ben Farrell out there talking in Russian, I believe. Budget Gun Cinema, Edward Petty, Floyd Hicks, the one, the only Pops Quest, Preston Scott, 536. Primal Wanderer, Pro Carry Trucker, Red October, Seven Wonders is out there. Vanessa Kitty, V Borg with the Big Blue Wrench, Walter Miner, got people flooding in, doing well.
Awesome, good deal. With that, we do have a phenomenal panel. We will start with Tactical Swede.
What's up, gentlemen? Happy to be here once again. As always, not doing a whole lot lately other than snowboarding. I've been like on the mountain pretty much every bit of my free time, so I haven't been doing much of anything else on the main channel, but there's some stuff popping up on the B channel, so go check that out.
Awesome, good deal. Then we have the one, the only, the Battle Beam.
Hi. Hey. By the way, why is Tactical Sweet got his fucking radio voice on? Hi, how you doing? This is the Tactical Sweet. Show. Anyways, I'm doing well, man. Just doing homework and trying not to fucking lose my mind at work. Learning about terrorism today. Oh yeah. That's it's pretty hefty, man. It's amazing how many damn terrorist groups are in this world. But yeah, it's just been going to school and just going to work, keeping me pretty busy actually. I got a chance to go in the Reloaders forum that they have on Fridays. I was really informative. I had Chico and I had JH in it, and they were just helping me tremendously. And also had Scotsman in there. It was really good. I got to learn a lot about single press and all the other stuff that they got going on. So very informative. I really appreciate it. So that's pretty much all I got going on, guys.
Cool, man. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We have a special thing going on for the Reloaders Network. We'll get to that here in a little bit. But next up, we got Jamie. JH, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Thanks for having me. Hello to everybody in the side chat. Kyle just popped in saying morning, guys. And Kyle met me at a gun show yesterday, and I got some goodies, and we might talk about those later. But got to meet Scott last Friday at the range, and he shot my Mauser, and I shot my Mauser, and it was a very good day. It was like almost 70 degrees on February the 1st. That like never happens. That's how you know when God's in the plan, man. But appreciate everybody coming, and thanks for having me, Scotsman.
Absolutely. You're always welcome, brother. Always welcome for sure. And with that, we have Insight Freedom. What's up, brother, man?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm working my way home, but anyway, I thought I would check in and hang out with. I thought I would check in and hang out with the gang. That's my best Tactical Swede voice.
Yeah.
And see what's going on. Chat a little bit. Hopefully, I can get back on the computer here within about a half an hour. But thanks for having me.
Well, Scott, there appears to be a neon sign behind you.
Are you in the bar?
Yes, it's finished now. I just finished dinner and a drink, and I'm about a half an hour out from home, so we're good.
Oh, it looks like you're about downstairs from me. And with that, we'll move along to the next person on the panel who always remains in the dark. That would be Daniel. God is my judge.
Why, thank you. And how is everybody out there in the panel and out there in the side chat? As you know, we just had the pledge of allegiance to the United States, but I want you to all know that this is foreign and domestic. So, for the Scotsman, this is in honor of you.
Salante, brother.
And there you go. Sam, turn off.
That sounded like
It won't turn off.
Copperhead Road. I don't know if that's Scottish or not, but we'll go with it.
Hey, it was
Close enough. We'll roll with it.
It was bagpipes.
Is it just me, or that sounded like a song from the Golden Axe arcade game back in the day?
Scotsman's gonna break out his kilt and his claymore. Start swinging.
Y'all don't want to see that.
Trust me.
Freedom!
You do not want to see that.
I just don't want to see him murder the Smurf to color half his face blue.
Dirty South.
What's up? What's going on, guys? I'm excited to be on the panel with all my brothers here and everyone in the side chat. Hey, so I'm just interested on all these topics we're gonna go over tonight. So thanks for being here, side chat. Thanks for having me, Scotsman and Allen.
Oh, wait a minute. Topics? Man, I don't know if you're in the right chat or not, man, because we don't need no speaking topics.
That does sound awfully structured. No structure.
It is structured sometimes, ain't it? Thanks for having me, though, guys.
You're quite welcome to be on there, Chico. I'm glad to have you. Yeah.
I don't think you're.
By the way, now that I understand what the hell's behind you, Chico, I'm kind of envious now. I'm starting to do some education about Dylan presses, and those things are badass, bro.
They're okay.
Oh, stop!
They're okay.
You're such a modest man, I tell you. Yeah, they're all right. You know they're like the damn Cadillacs of the fucking reloading world, man.
Well, yeah, and his ass was like pimping that thing from the get-go.
Hey, he's got a fucking Escalade in the back, just chilling like a mofo.
And that motherfucker's got 22s and spinners.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it, man. But it works, definitely, man.
So one reason I wanted Battle being on here tonight is because of the last Friday's chat on the Georgia Shooters Connection. If you guys didn't watch that, make sure you do. But Battle Bean is looking to get into the reloading world as well, which is awesome. We love that. So I thought we'd talk a little bit about new reloaders since we have, Insight Freedom. He got a reloader sent, and then he bought another press. So he's rocking and rolling. And then we also have the one in Allen Pro who has a press, courtesy of the Dirty South. And so I figured we kind of talk a little bit about that, kind of what's going on there, where you guys are at in the process, and kind of give some help to the Battle Bean. And then in a little bit, we'll get on to what's going on with the Reloaders Network and what's coming up.
Sounds like you've thought this out for a little bit. Cool.
Yeah, actually, guys, I've been really getting into the whole reloading thing because, as you guys know, the whole situation is going on where I live. I live in California, and if you guys don't know, there's starting to become like I don't know, stop laughing, fucker. Anyways, it's starting to become an issue where they're really restricting and is the sell and how much you can buy, and then they're checking on how much you're spending and all that good stuff. And it's getting to the point that it's like I have to become self-sufficient. That's is the only way I can make this happen. So, I mean, obviously, I've thought about reloading in the past. It kind of crossed my mind in the past, but it wasn't like a big thing where I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But now it just seems to me like it's more of a necessity kind of thing than anything else. On the last chat, on the Reloaders Network, I had Willie Bulletman. He said he's going to send me a single press just to get me started. In a way, I appreciate that, because in reality, you should, if you're going to get into anything like this, you really need to know the basics. And I've been watching these videos on single press and how you do it. Yeah, it seems like it's very time consuming. But I think the greatest thing that you can do for yourself is learn the basics, learn how each die works, learn how the process of it works and all that stuff. Cause that's the most important part. Cause in reality, my ultimate goal is to get into a turret press, like the one JH got, are they the best? No, but you know what? They work. And I don't need a really sophisticated Dylan like Chico's, because in reality, I don't shoot that much. Unfortunately, I got a lot of stuff that keeps me busy. So if I can shoot every other month, then I'm cool, And I mean, obviously the rounds that I use the most are like 38 special, 9mm, 380. Because those are like the carry guns I usually have. So that's what I usually go with. So, my thing is just to learn as much as I can. And you know what I really liked about that whole panel on Fridays is that everybody's just willing to help, man. And I mean, God bless you guys for doing that, because, I've learned so much just by hearing all of you, comment about certain things. But yeah, it's just I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to learning more about reloading and how to get into it. And so, I mean, anything that you guys can throw my way. I have a tendency of taking everybody's opinion, not saying one is better than the other. But the more I know, the more I learn, the better I can be.
Yep, that's it, man. Starting with basics is the way to go. I mean, you can jump right into progressive, like Chico did, but I'm pretty sure when Chico did that, he still kind of started off slow and didn't, run the things cranking the handle like crazy. He still started off slow and got the basics down. I mean, I started with a turret press, but I used it as a single stage to start with, so I could understand the basics, get the dice set the right way, and all that good stuff. So you're on the right path.
Well, and for me, reloading has been like this thing off in the corner of my mind, and it kind of leans a little bit towards the prepper side of me, where I want to have the tools, the knowledge, the skill, and the ability to do it. Because when shit like what's starting to happen in California goes on, and it gets harder and harder to get ammunition, or they just outlaw certain ammunitions altogether. I want to be able to have the tools, the skills, the knowledge, everything to be able to do my own rounds.
Absolutely. And that's what I really want. It's just to be able to, be able to at least be self-sufficient. I had no idea, because the first time I ever saw the whole thing about reloading was watching one of those National Geographic, prepper shows. That's when I learned about it, and to me at the time, that concept looked crazy. It looked like, man, you need to get all kinds of stuff just to get yourself started. But as I've been doing more research and stuff like that, I've gotten to know more and more about how it works. Actually, I contacted Eagle Eye, and Eagle Eye has given me a lot of great information. Also, actually, he was kind enough to give me his phone number. So he gave me his phone number. I gave him a call, and it was great. I got to talk to him for maybe like 15 minutes, but it was very good 15 minutes because he kind of broke it down to me as to what I should buy, what I shouldn't buy, and but he didn't kind of deter me from maybe getting a kit. What he told me is that maybe take some of the things off that are pretty much garbage on the kit, like the scale. Go with your own scale, buy yourself a separate scale. But he says, for the most part, a lot of the stuff that's in the kit, it's workable. I mean, is there stuff that is better? Absolutely. But, be able to get started is what you really want to get yourself into,
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Obviously I don't have a bench set up. I don't even have this thing mounted yet, but I'm looking at all the beginning things that I'm going to need. I've got quite a few things on order. I just got a couple more bushings.
Yeah, and don't feel too bad. I haven't even bought a table yet, but I already saw one at Harbor Freight that I really liked, and then it seemed to me like it's gonna work for what I need it for, and that's really what you really want. It's just to find things that are gonna work for you. I mean, not everything works for everybody, but for the most part, I just think that that there's really a lot of good tools and a lot of good info out there. And obviously, if you guys, like Tactical Suite, I don't know, do you reload, brother?
I don't. I really want to get into it. My dad's got a press that he doesn't use anymore. It's just a matter of getting together. He lives down in Virginia, so getting together to get the stuff from him to start pressing my own stuff. But I'd like to get into it just because, shooting a lot, ammo gets expensive, and just to honestly, I just want to make kind of planking rounds, just to go out and practice with.
I mean, obviously, that's exactly what I want. I want to be able to at least be self-sufficient so that I can, just continue using what I got instead of having to, depend on going to Wally World and finding it,
Yeah.
I just noticed that even at Wally World, it still adds up. You really start adding up your bullet per, each bullet per, it does add up. So, I mean, it's cool. At least for me, I just started noticing it's more of a necessity, like I was telling you guys. So,
especially when you think about a lot of the states right now are thinking about this 50% tax on ammo. Reloading is the way to go. Got to do it.
Yeah, so mine was motivated much like Battle Bean. I kind of see the writing on the wall with at least the never-ending threats that come out daily from different public servants. I've quit calling those idiots anything other than public servants because they need to be reminded that's what they are. But I've kind of seen the writing on the wall, and I was interested in this. Goodness, 2 years ago, I know I chatted with C-Max a lot about it and texted back and forth, and he was really helpful. I just never had that push until Chico, out of the kindness of his heart, gave me that one little push. Actually, it was a bunch of pushes within one very generous gift. So, I'm looking forward to getting into it. What I have is just about everything except building my bench right now, and then the nervousness of cranking out the first rounds and then shooting the first rounds that I've made. So that's kind of where I am.
As long as it doesn't blow up your gun, you're good.
Exactly. Hey man, see, here's my theory. I'm gonna use my high point. If I fuck that up, hey, it's $100. I'm going.
well, the thing is, and I've said this before, is take multiple books, meet that in the middle of all those books of what they say, and start there. You're safe. You're probably not going to damage your gun. Worst case scenario, it's going to be a light load or whatever, but you're not going to damage your gun.
and all you guys that are getting new and just going to be loading your first bullets, how you measure grains is do not just count out the individual grains. Don't count out. I'm not kidding. I was sitting there watching some buddies of mine before I got reloading, and this was the first time they were doing it. They counted out 17 individual grains that were reloading for a pistol, and you could literally watch the bullet fly down range and hit the ground.
Sounds like that old pellet gun gone bad.
Well, that's a TTD moment. TTD.
Yeah, I'll take a DTD moment. I just don't want a squib load and a follow-up shot like somebody famous on YouTube. So
I was going to say that the squib loads can be much more dangerous than the double charges.
Yeah.
Well, and I have a tendency to shoot in doubles or triples, just because that's how I train. And so I get a squib and don't realize it because I'm moving fast. It's not going to be a pretty picture.
You know what I've noticed so far from what everybody's been telling me, and from what I've gathered from just watching a lot of these guys, is take your time. If you only make 20, I mean, let's say you're doing a single press and you only make 25 rounds. Guess what? Those are the best 10, 25 rounds you got because you took your time with them. Of course, don't count them by grain, each granule. You know? I mean, that's a little titty, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just glad nobody got hurt. But I'm just saying, I just honestly think that when you get into something like this, man, you gotta really do your research and it's gotta be legit. You can't half-ass this. You really can't. There's a certain way. And the thing about it is that there's thousands and thousands of videos on YouTube of everybody reloading. So, I mean, seriously, you can spend 3 hours listening to people's point of view on this stuff. And, you go from somebody like Hickok 45 to somebody all the way down to Joe Blow, and he does a reloaded video. Well, you can pretty much tell there's a pattern that all of them do.
I have learned by doing that kind of research that with 45 caliber, you just fill it to the top, scrape the top off, push the bullet on, and you're ready to go. I mean,
that would be
one of the big things is setting aside time. So a lot of people say they don't have the time to do this. I do it in stages. And I know a lot of other people do too. They do it in stages. And the way that I do it is I'll deep prime and clean in one stage. And then when I'm ready and I have a little bit more time, I'll go back and I'll reload X amount of rounds with the time that I have. That way I'm taking the time. I'm not trying to rush it and then screw something up. I'm breaking it all down in little stages.
I mean, whatever. I just think whatever works for you. I mean, obviously don't drink and load. Don't get high and load. I mean, those are
bad combination.
Those are crucial. Don't mess those up. But yeah, I mean, it's I find it fascinating, guys. It's the whole reloading thing. It's amazing that you can reload on ammo. In cases you can continuously do it. Especially a 9mm. You can reload the sucker like crazy, man. You get to go.
About a month ago, I had a squib, and this is the first time that I had electronic ears on, and I heard the squib with the ears, with those electronic ears. It made like if you was hitting a hollow tube with a stick, it made that kind of sound right there, and it was like instant stop.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to say. If you ever have a squib load, you'll never do a magazine dump again, because that's always in the back of your mind. Yeah, let me get out here and just shoot these as fast as I can. once you get your process down and everything and you're confident in your stuff, that's one thing. But when you're just getting started, you can have a squib load in a factory round, guys. You ever have one?
Most definitely. I've had that. On the freaking Winchester freaking round. I was pissed. I was like, I'm not getting my money's worth out of my Wally World ammo here. What the hell?
I had rather have a dud than a squib load.
And with that one there, it did not cycle all the way through. It did not eject the brass. I just heard it. Heard the hollow sound, and it's like I pulled it out, and I could look right into the barrel from, right there. I didn't point the gun at me. No, I looked down inside, and I could see it was a total squib.
Now, Daniel, did you also feel the lack of recoil from a regular round?
No, as soon as I heard that noise, everything just stopped, and that I didn't even think of recoil.
All right.
Well, I say I'm nervous, and everybody, I'm sure Chico's mentioned, those first rounds you're always nervous, but the great thing is, and this is so unlike me, because I see something that I've got to get done, and I figure out a way to get it done. In this case, got this incredible resource, and we've got several of you Reloader Network guys here in this chat tonight, where you've got this resource of people who want to help. And everybody within that network has reached out to me and offered help. There you go, Chico. And even before that, those guys existed within this community. It's just now it's this really nice formalized network that's there as a resource. And God, what better time to do it than to have a bunch of people very experienced with this stuff that have been going through this for a long time and know the ins and outs of it. Daniel and the Scotsman, I've known y'all as reloaders for a while now. And, you go down the list through the community and to Pops and all those other people who've been doing this. But now we've got this kind of this.
I don't even know why Pops would do it, because that guy gets like rounds by the freaking truckload, man. I hate that dude.
We have an excellent question from the side chat, and I'm going to start with JH on this one. Roughly how many rounds of reloading does it take to break even after the initial investment?
Depends on which caliber.
Right.
Depends on how much you pay for your equipment.
If you're reloading a 270 or a 6.5 Creedmoor, you're going to recoup your money fast.
When you load 357 Magnums like these, or the 35 Remingtons that I load up, and fairly quickly. I have like $200 in my kit, another $35 in my scale, then another $70 in another scale. You just have to do the math, but I would say within 5,000 rounds, you got your money back.
And the thing is, you've just shown something that's another huge variable in reloading, and that's casting. And that's something that at this point I've got on my radar. It's not there right now because I really want to focus on getting the reloading part down right.
Yeah.
But ultimately, for what I've mentioned about the political side of this and for the cost side of this, that casting part of it is huge, because that you're going to cut a large amount, because even getting a deal like let me just say 9mm, getting a deal on 9mm rounds, if I'm getting them 6 to 8 cents a piece, that's a pretty good deal. If I go to Academy, I may be paying, more than that per round, closer to 12 cents a round if I'm getting Hornady rounds from Academy or something like that for just, like 147 or 124 or whatever, hollow points, flat nose, whatever I'm getting. It's still going to be significantly more than ordering bulk online and getting it more in that 6 cents range, or preferably even lower. Because I can remember, Pop's doing some of this because he's always doing the math on all of his stuff, where he was talking about, he got these rounds for 3.2 cents a piece or something like that. That's pretty good, but casting takes a bunch of that out of there. If you can pick up your lead like Chico or some of these other guys that are constantly getting weights and stuff, hopefully not zinc, and casting their melting and casting their own. So
Chico jumping out of his car on the highway.
Mm-hmm.
when you buy a box of 100 primers, like these little small boxes, just 100, you're going to pay $3.50 to $5 a box for that.
Yeah,
that's 100 primers. You load up 100 rounds of 9mm. You say you use tight group, you got maybe 2 cents worth of powder, and you got a cast bullet. Basically, you're using range brass. This right here is your major cost of your load when you're reloading and casting. So you're looking at least 3 cents a piece. Now, the only way to defeat that is to buy those in bulk. You buy them in cases of 1,000, then you buy those in cases of 5,000, and you keep buying them. You keep going up in quantity, and the price keeps going down and keeps going down. But to buy a loaded round of ammunition for 3 cents a piece, Scott, brother, they got more than that in it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no doubt about that. And you know, I priced all this stuff out. I've gone to like Academy and looked at pricing it out, and you know, I've gotten better deals buying bulk ammo. Like when I got 1,000 rounds of 9mm 124 grain for $132 shipped. That was a good price per round. That's probably the best price per round I've gotten in bulk ammo shipped to my door in a while. But if I start adding in that I'm paying, let's say I go to Academy and I'm paying $3.95 for 100 primers. I've already got my brass because I'm saving brass like crazy. I've cleaned my brass, but I'm having to spend another 12 cents a round for 124 grain round nose range round or something like that. Then that's kind of blowing the scenario. But again, I'm really not getting into it for the cost savings so much on like 9mm. I am getting into it for the cost savings on 357 and seven rim mag and 45s to some extent and 357 SIG and some of those things like that are generally just more expensive per round type things. But right now my goal is learn on 9mm, crank out 1,000 9mm before I even get into anything else. And then I'll start getting into the challenges of calculating and thinking through all the things that are involved in rifle rounds. So that's kind of where I am with it.
Yeah, don't be like freaking Eagle Eye where he creates like all this funky ass fucking rounds and shit.
Well, Seven has
a
follow-up out there in the side chat.
Well, he can figure it out because he's Asian. You know, they're pretty good with numbers and shit. I'd be like, and let me get my calculator. let me get my scientific calculator. Maybe that'll work. I don't know. I'm just saying. No, but it's you know what? That's a great point, Scott. The whole thing of getting proficient with one type of round or die, just so that you can get more confident with everything else. Because I noticed that, you know, as you start progressing with other rounds, it's definitely going to be a challenge. So it's always good to get good with one type of round. Hey, Danny, why is it that, you know, it seems to me like every time I look at you, bro, all I can think about is Star Wars and the evil fucking guy with the hood. Hi, my son.
Mario, I am your father's next door neighbor's golf buddy.
Daniel's got more light than usual. Usually he's got me in the apocalypse now mode when he's really dark over there.
I know, man.
Seven Wonders had a follow-up question out there that always buy 1,000 rounds online with free shipping. Does it make sense to reload that they buy 25, 32, 38, 380, 9, and 357? Now, again, I have yet to load a single round myself, but I would say yes, it makes sense. If you got the time, it's going to end up saving money in the long run.
I still think that my calculations on what I can do just buying bulk bullets online, if I get a minimum of 1,000, or if I go up and get 5,000, I might be getting those for the somewhere in the 6 to 4.5 or 5 cents a piece, and then the primer cost. I'm still at about 10 or 11 cents, which is less than any great bulk deal I've ever gotten.
Is those steel cased or brass?
What?
Your
The ones
ammo.
I got for 132 from Brownells were brass. Yeah, they were Magtech brass. They were. It was the best deal
I mean,
I've
like,
ever gotten.
I get what Beardy CB's talking about with the whole buying 1,000 freaking rounds and all this, but let's say you don't got $300, $400 to spend to go and buy 1,000 rounds of ammo. I mean, sometimes maybe buying, maybe making your own does make sense in the long run. If you like, let's say you only use up 200-300 rounds or something like that. I mean,
Pops makes an excellent statement, and I don't mean to interrupt you, Battle Beam, but he makes an excellent statement. It's not about the time; it's about knowing how to do it. That's your biggest resource.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If the shit hits the fan, and all the crap we're dealing with right now, especially with all the 50% tax increases they're trying to do, the round limits in various states that are trying to pass more on, all that stuff. It is an essential thing to know.
And another thing, the reason why I'm really trying to get into all this really quick is because, as you guys know, we have a new governor in my state, and this guy basically all of the very unconstitutional laws that Jerry Brown vetoed, he's thinking of bringing them back and signing them into law. So it's going to get even crazier than what we ever thought before. Not only that, but we had Gaffy Giffords here last week. And this lady goes to Sacramento and starts talking about how she is so proud of the state of California for enforcing all these gun laws and all this other stuff. And I'm like, first of all, she is the biggest hypocrite, because I could have swore I saw her, smiling with an AR-15 in her hand not too long ago before she got shot. With that being said, man, my thing is, if you love firearms, you love firearms. If you get shot by one, doesn't mean that everybody is a bad freaking guy. You just happen to have a psycho that fucking didn't like your ass and shot you.
Hey, Battleby, you just brought up a point there, and with your new governor that's going to go ahead and run these things through. They got vetoed. They're going to have to go through the House and Senate of California again. But if the Democrats get the Senate, I mean, Obama already signed that UN treaty thing a few years back. Someone needs to do some research on that. Okay, I'm done sidetracking and derailing you now. Go ahead.
We do have a newcomer onto the chat. I'd like to welcome the one, the only Sarge of C4 Defense.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Sorry I'm late.
It's all good. We're glad to have you, man. I'm glad you could show up.
Yeah, it was a very long day today.
So there you go.
Glad to see
another radio voice.
Made it through the day, sir.
Okay, now that we got everybody here, we're going to play Reloaders Jeopardy. Okay.
Anyways, I'm glad to see boys in here. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? First time I got a chance to chat with you. I know that I watch your side check. I mean, your chat when you have it on. It's really, you make a lot of valid points, man. But I was just wanted to pick your brain as to what do you do? You do reload a lot, or what's your take on reloading?
I do not reload. It very much interests me, and I can see that in my future this summer.
Okay.
It interests me. I haven't quite taken the plunge, and it's just about time to.
Okay. Very cool.
Yep. And we had a question out there too from someone. What's the best resource or place to look at on equipment and resources for learn how to do it? So number one would be learn how to do it is the reloadersnetwork.com. Also, all the guys here on YouTube, Chico, Jamie, there's a bunch of them out there, Tin Man, you name it. There's so many good people out there. Go back and watch a lot of CMAX videos as well. CMAX is what got me into it. between him and Pops and a bunch of other guys. Yeah, it just went from there and it just took off and it's not going to stop. It's just going to keep on going. Jamie,
what was that website?
The reloadersnetwork.com.
I'm writing that down for later.
There's a link in the description too. If you just click on that link, you'll be able to go right there. We're going to talk about that here in a minute too. But as far as buying equipment and stuff like that, generally myself, I'm a big Amazon shopper. I sit and what I'll do is I'll put it in the cart and I'll let it sit there until it goes on sale. I'll keep going back and checking on it every couple of days or so. I'll go back and check on it, and then when it goes on sale, that's when I buy it. I know Chico's a big eBay guy, and he sends me deals every now and then too on the eBay stuff.
I'll check them both out from time to time. I'm the type of guy that when I need something, I need to go ahead and I'll just find the best price I can find and then buy it. I tend not to think that far out in advance.
Look who's in here. What's up, Jiffy?
What's happening?
What you up to, brother?
Not much.
Hey, I know you got that single press, bro. You had a chance to mess with that thing yet or what?
No, I haven't done anything with it yet, except for look at it and try and figure out how to use it.
Yeah, I think you and I are like in that TTD moment, like TTD.
Yep.
We'll get it. We'll get there.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to design like a little platform to stick it on, to bolt it to.
Right.
So I don't have to unbolt it to be able to clean out all the spent primers.
Right.
Yeah, I want to build a little like platform and maybe put a little plastic tray under it or something.
Yeah, if you come up with a good little concept, let me know, man. I'd love to see that video, because then I can definitely copy your style, bro.
Yeah, another one of my hobbies is woodworking too, so I'll come up with something.
All right, sounds good.
Make it out of some kind of lumber.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Good to have you on,
man. How you doing, man?
Gun Wild, I'd be doing better if I didn't have this right there.
Oh. Didn't lube it or what?
No. That's what happens when you don't lube.
Is that a carbide one?
Nope.
No.
RCBS. I was stupid.
Dang, Daniel.
I know.
All right. Hold on. I got a lesson coming. Give me a second.
And even with, and I've had it happen too, with the carbide dies, it can happen as well. Lube or no lube, it can still happen. I've had it happen to me too on the Lee carbide dies. And it is a pain in the ass to get it out. I literally spent a good 30 minutes trying to get that out.
Do you have to basically just destroy the brass to?
Yeah, you destroy the brass. There's no saving it. I mean, I literally had when that happened on mine, it was a pair of pliers, a screwdriver, and a hammer.
Pop says out in the side chat to heat it up.
I'm trying. I stick my tongue on it. It's not hot yet.
Probably need to get hotter than that. I don't think a lighter's going to cover it.
Could you not get a rod in the top of it, Daniel? Any kind of steel rod to knock it out?
No, I can't because it's an RCBS die.
Okay.
You know that? Yeah.
All right, so that's a quick question. What's a better die, the RCBS or the Lee?
Carbide.
Well, the Lees are carbide.
Carbide?
Seen.
Okay. Oh, that's another company? It's called Carbide?
No, the Lee makes all the carbide dies. I mean, there's others that make them too, but Lee's the main one that makes the carbide dies.
Oh, I got it.
Most of my Lees are not carbide, but you'll know, they'll advertise. The die with the pin hanging down is your full length sizing die. These are 357 Magnum. If you're not using carbide dyes, you got to lube your cases. First lube I used was this. This is Hornady Unique, and it is a paste. And you just dab your finger and rub it on the case. Slow, methodical. There's a better way. Next one I tried was the Hornady One Shot. Works good sometimes, sometimes not. It sucks. I don't want nothing I've got to worry about using.
The problem with the Hornady case lube, and Jamie, you can correct me if you've had different experience, but my experience with us, it gets very, very sticky quickly. It doesn't do what it's supposed to. It dries up real fast and it's very, very sticky.
This One Shot that I use, it doesn't get sticky, but it does evaporate off the case too fast and you get stuck cases. It just don't work all the time. The next one I used is this stuff that came with my kit. This stuff right here is amazing. It really is. It's hard to find. It's just it's Lee resizing lubricant, and it dries completely dry, and it will not let the case get stuck. But the best one I found so far is to duplicate the Dillon case lube. You get some of this stuff, the lanolin oil, and get you a spray jug like this. You all got these laying around the house. Find your Windex bottle. You put 1 ounce of this in the bottom of the bottle with 10 to 12 ounces of this and shake it up in that bottle. Then put your cases in the bag like this, 2 or 3 squirts, shake them up, run them through your press, run them through your sizing die, and they don't get stuck.
Now, Jamie, that One Shot, I just got done doing 1,000 rounds of 9mm the other day over 2 days. I sprayed all my brass with that One Shot on the first day, and it was dry, and I ran them the rest of them, about 400 of them on Saturday. On Saturday, and it dried, and I didn't have a problem with that. It's just that One Shot, it's limited. There's not really much in it. It doesn't last you that long.
It doesn't. It goes away fast. The problem I've had with the One Shot is with 223, more specifically 5.56 military cases. When you start running 223 through sizing dies, you are going to get one stuck. I don't care who you are or what you use, you're going to get some stuck cases. So just kind of expect it. And one of the reasons y'all talking about which is the best dies, look, guys, it's all about preference and what you can afford. A Lee die does just as well as a Dillon die in the hands of somebody that knows what they're doing. The reason I like Lee dies is because I can take, here's an example. Right here. This is a Lee sizing die. See, it's got the pin, the decapping pin. Up above the pin is the expander ball. It expands the neck back out. I can take my wrench, loosen this nut right here, and take everything out. If I get a stuck case, I can pull all that stuff out the top. Then I can take a punch like what Chico was talking about, take the die out of the turret, put it in a vise, hopefully wrapped up with something, and I can take me a hammer and a punch and beat that back out the bottom. So as far as getting stuck cases out, the Lee has the most user-friendly design to get stuck cases out of your dies.
Now, so question. So every time you is that the lubing of the cases? Do you need to do that with all calibers or just specifically more with the rifles?
Unless you're using a carbide sizing die, you lube all cases.
Okay.
Right, Daniel?
Yep. Yes. I'm not worthy. Yep. I got away with
another question is, how how do you guys clean your brass? Because I was looking at Is Your Six Covered, Rick, and he's gonna have like a weird way of doing it. He basically uses one of his jugs that he uses for his iced tea. Yeah, sweet tea, and he puts that in there. He puts some freaking some water, some what does he put? Some Dawn and what is the other thing they put on lemon?
Let me
Lemon
shine.
shine.
What's it called? The
Lemon shine.
lemon shine. What is that thing? I've never seen that before. What do you use that for?
It's citric acid, so you have to dilute it with some other things.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, guys. Sarge has got to jump out. Sarge, you got anything you want to say before you jump out? I know you weren't here very long, brother.
Yeah, I just wanted to apologize. I was supposed to get off of work at 5, and I got off at 8:30. So I wanted to be on here for a good while, but I got to run. I'm gonna jump over to the closer for just a few minutes, and then I got to go to bed because apparently I have to work again tomorrow.
Sure, bud. Welcome back, man.
Welcome back. Well, I want to jump on here more often. I planned on being here at 9:30. It just didn't work out. Had some late things come in, but I appreciate the invite. I will be back. Let's see. I should be back next week because next week I should be off. I should be off all weekend. So
good to hear you, Sarge. Glad to actually have you.
Yes, I will be back next week. Thank
I'm
you,
gonna
guys.
run over to Waynesville and say hi to you sometime. Okay.
Hey, I'll be here. You let me know. We'll go to lunch.
See you, bro.
See you, Sarge.
Sounds good.
All right.
Take care.
Right. I'll see you guys.
I would let that man do my voiceovers. I'm just saying.
Now that's a radio voice right there.
Dude, quit hitting that fucking man. Fucking gay ass fucker. Anyway.
All right, so most of you guys will notice that in the title of this live stream, TRN announcement for a giveaway. So here's what's going on. I had a subscriber reach out to me last week, and he has a press he wants to donate for a giveaway. And it is a Lee 50th anniversary reloading kit. He's had it for quite some time. It's still brand new in the box. And he wants to donate it for a giveaway. Well, the giveaway is specifically for the Reloaders Network. I talked with him. I talked with Lutz Bacon. I talked with Chico and a few other people. So here's what's going to happen. Basically, what's going to happen is there'll be a video coming out later on this week on my channel. And then giving the basic details of what it is and how you can enter. And then I'm sure Chico, JH, and a few other guys will make videos on top of that and throw those out as well. The main video will be over on the Reloaders Network. The link is in the description down below. You guys need to go over there, sign up. You don't have to be, when you sign up, you don't have to make videos. You can sign up just so you can watch and comment. Commenting is huge. That is one of the biggest things that we're lacking right now over there is the people commenting so that we can reply to your comments to see the people that are watching, answer those questions that are out there. So that's what's going to happen. That's going to be coming up this week. But I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention. And you guys have plenty of time to go over, sign up for Reloaders Network, start watching some bits now in the meantime. But I'm not sure if the subscriber wants me to throw his name out there or not. But I think that was very awesome of him. It was a pleasure to talk with him this past week. I talked with him on the phone for probably a good hour. So that was pretty awesome, and I appreciate it for sure, and I'm sure everyone else here does as well.
Definitely.
It's a good source. It's a good resource for sure. And I mean, a lot of it, I have mine set up to where I get notifications so that I know to go look, because most of the guys do post on YouTube, and I know that something's coming out there. I'll admit I get on Reloaders Network and I try to comment occasionally, but one thing it does is it sets up notifications that are reliable that I get in my emails so that I know to go look for something when it's up.
Well, I just recently signed up on the Reloaders Network myself. I'm not a what do you call it over there when you actually post videos?
An author.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not an author over there, but I have signed up as a member over there, and also touched on Slack. And if I'm my technological abilities will enable me to figure out how to use that, I'll be on that as well.
All you have to be is a slacker, so you've got that covered.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the website. What do I need to put a comment or anything like that? What am I looking at?
For right now, just sign up so that you're able to comment. You can watch videos and comment on those videos.
Oh yeah, because I just got something that says thanks for subscribing or something. I don't know if that's it.
You've done it. If you got the video, if you got that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm definitely gonna be checking out that whole website and definitely check it out. And to whoever did that, man, thank you. That's awesome. It's definitely awesome.
It's loads of bacon.
What's that, Chico?
Loads of Bacon started the Reloaders Network. He's an awesome guy. So yeah, he puts together a nice platform for all of us to get information from people just in case this platform we're on now disappears. But it's strictly reloading. It's strictly reloading, shooting,
Testing
is full of all kind of stuff. So it's
hey, I
a great resource.
I got a question to the panel. How many of you still do you use the single stage press?
I do.
I see Chico has his right there.
Yeah, I use it.
What do you use it for? Like what caliber?
9mm 45. That's 9mm and 45 is the only thing I load right now. But if you look at my video later, I had my son using this press the other day.
Oh, you did?
This single stage press. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I know that you posted that video up just to show me, or to have your son show me how to deprime.
It's a DTD video for all of us DTDs. Yes, it's all good. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
That was a proud moment for sure.
I was excited, brother.
He's gone from just planing to depriming now. He's moving up the ladder.
Right. It's easy though, man. Something like that, a single stage is. I recommend it for starting out, man. And Mario, I know you're getting one of these. So this is what I would suggest. This is my opinion, man. Other people may disagree with me. The Lee Carbide 4-die set. It comes with a shell holder.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with a powder scoop and 4 dies. It's gonna come with a full a factory crimp die. On my Dylan, I have a RCBS dies and I have a Lee factory die, factory crimp die. So all my stuff is not Dylan. All of it. I mean, a lot of my die setups are mixed around because I like one die that does this operation. I like another die that does another operation. So it doesn't have to be a particular brand, but I would suggest that for new people. The Lee Carbide 4-die set.
Okay, I'll definitely do that. Now I have a question. When I noticed, I was watching the video how they set up each die and you set it up to the length and I mean whatever that case may be, height. I'm sorry. So once you set that up, can you set it up so next time you put it on, you don't have to do all that adjusting? Does that make sense?
Yeah, with the one that you've got a collar in there, so it should be pretty easy after that, right?
Well, with a single stage, like especially if you start with a single stage, if you're gonna take that die out and switch it to another one, mark the die. You can always mark the die where you have it locked at, and that way when you put it back in, you just put it down to that mark, and that's it. You're good to go.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you're using one single stage, and in your case, the one that has a collar in it, once you get that nut adjusted, you can double check your measurements, but it should be the same every time you put it in there, right? Is that right?
If it's like the breech lock system like this right here, I don't know if y'all can see that.
Like that one.
Pull it straight out.
You see that little screw that's in that big nut? That's a locking screw. It just locks right on. So it'll be the same spot every time you screw it back in.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then you can check, you know, with a caliper, you can check your overall length and stuff to double check it on some dummy rounds if you need to. Or you can have a friend like Chico send you a bunch of dummy rounds for a bunch of things. So I got all kinds of Mardi Gras candy. I'm gonna make a necklace out of some of that stuff.
There's Pop.
Yeah. The man, the myth, the legend, Pop's Quest himself.
Popsicle.
Hey man, hey, check out my boy here. He's drunk on Vitavori.
Nice.
You know, it's Battle Bean. Listen, this is directed straight to you.
Okay.
Not that any question is a bad question, but when you're gonna start getting into reloading, start watching a ton of videos on reload, because a lot of the questions you're asking, like I said, there's nothing like there's no such thing as a bad question, but when you go down that rabbit hole, there's going to be a million questions, and getting the basics in your mind will cut down on, like, you know, 90% of those. You know what I'm saying? But
I got you.
But at the same time, I'm willing to help anyone with any question. I got a buddy of mine that I shoot competition with that, like, I'm on speed dial with him, and he just got a 650, and literally every couple days he calls me with a question. I'm like, yes. You know, it's really awesome to be able to send someone down that path, and I love it. I love making a new ammo creator, if you will. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a wonderful thing to pass on that knowledge. It's just beautiful.
No, I appreciate it, Pops, and I appreciate your perspective on things, because I know sometimes I'm asking questions that are like maybe a little bit on the basic level, but in reality, it's just like you're right. I've been watching a lot of videos, but sometimes either I may not grasp exactly what they're talking about, or maybe just the way the presenter explains it doesn't make sense to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I don't want to scare people from it, but it's a complicated subject. I mean, this is a thing where you can kill yourself literally by doing the wrong thing, but you can also free yourself, which is an amazing thing. And so it's one of those things where, you know, you kind of want to know where the person is with their skill set and their knowledge to take them to the next level. And it's just a beautiful thing. And so I'd like for people that are interested in it to get as much knowledge as they can by, you know, watching as many, you know, people reload that are competent in it, and then ask questions. Answering those questions are one of my favorite things to do. I love it when someone asks a question where I'm like, yeah, this fucker gets it, right? And then I want to answer that question in a way that makes it special for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, this is valuable, you know? So it's a wonderful thing.
I got you, man. I appreciate that very much.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's it exactly. You know, C-Max got me into reloading, and between C-Max and Papa Lass and a few other guys, that's what got me going. And anytime I reached out with an email or a text message, I got an answer back like that.
Yeah, Papa's in the house right now on the
Dude,
side.
C-Max, C-Max is a great example. Like, he knew how complicated it could be, but he also knew how to take it down to a level that got you intrigued and wanting to learn and inspired and everything. And so he was a great resource, and I miss him so much. But it's exactly right. Like, he had all that knowledge. He was the Jedi, but he knew to only put you on a certain amount at a time to make you want to come for more. And it was a wonderful thing. I'm not a master at this point, but I know enough to see when somebody's doing what they do at a level that was really, really cool to watch. It was really cool. And Papa Les out there, he's the same way. Like, he won't overwhelm you with shit. He will literally give you just what you need to take you to the next level, which is awesome.
Yeah, Mario was asking about setting dies in that earlier. C-Max has an excellent video on how to set dies, and he takes his time with it, the whole 9 yards, breaks everything down. I mean, that was the one that got me going on how to do it all. And I'd go back and watch it, and I might watch it 20 times before I set one die. But I'm taking my time because I wanted to get it right. I didn't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
And that's really my point too. I want to make sure that it's not about speed, it's more about precision. You know, if I make only 25 rounds, but damn it, if I know those 25 rounds are fucking good, then that's the whole point.
Over time, man. You literally once you get it done, the process down to a certain degree, the speed will come.
But I swear, you know what? One thing I really love about the gun community is that when somebody like myself is interested in reloading, I swear I have so many people coming up to me and say, "Hey, man, this is how you do it." I mean, Pops hardly ever gets in this chat, and all of a sudden he's here, you know, and that means a lot to me because he doesn't get on. He just likes to talk shit on the side chat. But for him to get on here and just say his two piece, that really means a lot to me, you know. And believe me, I think the friendships that you get here in the gun community are priceless, and I'm very appreciative of all you guys' feedback and your friendship. It really means a lot to me.
Becoming a reloader is special, but creating reloaders is more special, right? Like building that skill set in someone else is more enjoyable than knowing how to make your own shit. It really is, and that's what we love to do, you know.
Yeah, I know, and I appreciate that very much, you know. And it's not just here. It just seems to me like even in the side panels, it's like everybody's just, you know, throwing their 2 cents, hey man, and this and that, and it's really appreciative. You know, it just really means a lot to me. And you know, I'm really happy that everybody's willing to spread the knowledge. So it's very cool.
Yeah, getting on the Reloaders Network was an awesome thing for me. I met so many good people over there, and literally it was probably, I don't know, maybe a week, and I had half a dozen plus people that I barely talked to. I talked a little bit on YouTube, and then jumping in with the Reloaders Network and helping out over there and stuff. It's just amazing the was built like that. You know, I mean, I've built some really awesome friendships here on YouTube, and people that are absolutely family to me and will always be family to me. But it's amazing how fast the reloading community just like that as well. You know, just insane.
And it just seems to me like, you know, you got these politicians say, well, you shouldn't have this or whatever. You know, it just seems to me like everybody rebels and says, you know, fuck you. You don't tell us what we need to do, because let's stop and think about it. When Obama was president, how many people bought more guns that they've ever bought in their lifetime? I know I did.
Oh, Obama was one of the best gun salesmen ever.
Yeah,
he was essentially the best gun salesman ever. I can tell you, as someone that was still in the industry at that point in time, I have never gone through so many forums in my entire life. And I went through a lot of forums because I had to audit them and go through them and double check everything. So trust me, I touched a lot of forums. Some days, heck, some weekends was 10,000 plus forums. Whoa. Just in a weekend.
Damn.
And it was like every day is Black Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you made some really good money during that time there, Scotsman.
Well, the company did. I just got my pay, you know, my regular pay.
Hey, Pop. So seriously, man, throw me some more knowledge, man, because you always have a good understanding of reloading and other stuff. Like, how did you get started? How did you just? I mean, I know you didn't go to a Dillon, man. You know what I'm saying?
No, I did. My very first press was a Dillon 650. Straight to a progressive. Well, I love to live in the extreme part of the world. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, fuck, let's just go
straight to a fucking Cadillac, huh?
Yep. Why not? You know, I mean, because that's where you're going to end up. Why not go there right off the rip? But I will say this, like Scotsman said earlier, you can use a progressive like a single stage. You know, so don't be scared of the, oh shit, there's a lot going on. You know, and this is actually another one that I set up as a mobile unit. I made my own strong press, and this one goes everywhere with me. So whenever I have downtime, I can just make competition ammo. Because honestly, I mean, I'm shooting 20,000 rounds a year. I literally have to fucking make ammo every time I'm not doing something, you know. So, but you can't at that rate of fire, you cannot make. You can't buy ammo. You just can't buy ammo. So,
well, I mean, you do a lot of competitive shooting and all that stuff, and I can just imagine how many rounds you go through during the day. But I mean, obviously, you don't get to pick up that ammo because you pretty much lost that ammo during the competition time, right?
Well, they'll give you 2 or 3 hours after a match. If you want to pick up your brass, you can pick up your brass. But
okay.
Yeah, but I don't like picking up brass at a match because it might have been shot 4 times. So I only reload once fired brass. And to mitigate the cost of that, I bought a 55-gallon drum of like 55,000 rounds of that shit. So buying in bulk is the key. You know, laying down some knowledge on you to get you into the thing would be load 100 rounds of the ammo that you shoot the most. Just make that your one goal in the next 2 or 3 months, and it'll change your life. So if most people shoot 9mm or 45 or something like that, just find some brass and make the gun fuel. As a good friend of mine calls it, he calls it gun fuel. Make your own gun fuel, and it will change your life forever. You'll never want to shoot someone else's ammo ever again.
Yeah, the thought of ammo makes you cringe at that point.
Good, exactly. I mean, once you can make your own, I mean, it's like making your own gas for your car. I mean, it's a liberating thing, and it's a wonderful experience, and you just won't want to ever buy it off the shelf ever again. And then believe me, I buy a lot of ammo off the shelf, but sometimes for resale or flipping and shit like that. But I love making my own ammo. I primarily make my own.
I bought the last time I went to Daniel's, I bought some rounds off the shelf. I couldn't hit a damn thing. They were so inaccurate, it wasn't even funny. I mean, you looked at the target, and the target was covered. And I'm like, I can't get at the group at all. But the reloads are always grouping, nice and tight.
Well, it's like I said, when you make your own ammo, it's match grade ammo. Who here reloads that understands that, right? Every round you make is the highest quality ammo you're going to make, period. End of story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can.
I think that's the reason why so many continue doing it, because it's to their liking, and I guess that's dividends.
Favorite pistol powder right now for you, Pops, is what?
There's a jar of it right here. It's the Vithavori. Now this is Gucci powder. This is expensive powder. I don't expect people to buy this, but this is premium Vithavori N320. So I mean, it's competition shit. So I like it. But if I was gonna buy pistol powder for making factory ammo, I would load with tight group. End of story.
Okay.
Tight group's about 20, right around $21 a pound. That stuff Pop's got's about $43 a pound.
Well, Ammo Mafia buys it for $30 a pound. But yeah, I hear you. So
I would love to try some of that. I'm gonna have to. Kyle said he's got some. I might bum some off of him. And see, I have a Finish M39 that shoots the 7.62 by 39. The Finish made their own ammo, and that Vitavori powder is made in Finland.
Yep.
So it would match that rifle to a T. So I'm gonna get me a powder.
Yep, it's amazing powder. I mean, the bad thing about trying that kind of powder is once you shoot it, you don't want to shoot anything else. And I found a sale on this deal where they had, you know, the manufacturer's rebate, and it was on sale. And I bought 24 fucking pounds of this shit for like $30 a pound, which sounds like a lot, but that's cheap for this grade of powder. So
that retails for $40 to $45 a pound.
So what's the major significance for a powder like that? You get a lot less smoke. It's more reactive. What's the deal?
Well, the burn rate is important, because what you want is a burn rate that matches the bullet weight. And so you get all your powder is spent. You get no flash at the end of the barrel, because any unburnt powder that goes out the barrel is gonna make a big fireball. You want it to push the bullet. Any fast burning powder will slam the bullet. You want the powder to match the bullet so that you're pushing the bullet right to the end of the barrel. And then that's the perfect powder burn rate for your barrel. Now that sounds really like, oh my God, I'll never, like, that's really hard to do because you got different barrel lengths and like that. But the beautiful thing is when you find a powder that does exactly that, well, that's just magic. But the other thing is, it doesn't smoke. So in a competition environment, when you come to an array of targets and you might shoot 3 targets and you have to put 2 holes in each one, that's 6 bullets. And if you have a powder that smokes a lot, it obscures your vision. And let's say your next target is a piece of steel that's 6 inches at 20 yards. Well, now you can't see it. So to me, powders that burn really clean are important. The burn rate is important for the bullet weight and stuff like that. I mean, and luckily, I only have to figure that out for one gun. Imagine having to figure that out for 4 or 5 different guns. I mean, it can get tedious. But for me, I figured out the perfect magic for my competition gun. And that's the beauty of reloading right there in a nutshell.
Where I'm at is trying to figure out those loads for all of my guns, and I'm at the point where I've got way too many guns.
No such thing. No such thing.
I know, but when you start trying to load develop for like 6 or 8 handguns, like Pop was saying, and then you got what, 10 or 12 more rifles to do the same thing with it. It gets tedious. You got to stick to one project at a time.
Yep, and that's why I developed a 9mm factory load, right? So I make my own quote unquote factory 9mm ammunition, because I'm not going to go through the process on 9mm to come up with a competition load. I did when I had the Shadow 2 and I was running that and all that, but I've decided, you know what, I'm just not going to deal with that. There's just too much going on. For my limited major gun, I don't mind going through that chore, but for everything else, I'm just going to start trying to mimic factory loaded ammunition for everything else,
So when you're getting ready to do something like that, how are you starting that process?
Well, you need a goal. I mean, is your goal accuracy, or is your goal is your goal cycle rate, or what is it? You need to figure out what the goal is, and once you figure out what the goal is, you know which way to go. If your goal is accuracy, I mean, then you need to study 10 different bullets and like get reviews on all these different bullets and shit. I mean, but if your goal is cycle rate, which a lot of times with pistols it is. I mean, the faster you can shoot, the better. You need to come up with the best bullet that makes the slide react the best and the recoil without any dwell time and all this. And this is where science comes in. Science is real. So Scientology sucks. I believe in God, but in reloading, science is actually real, right? So, and that's what makes it so awesome. Is you just it makes you look for the things that matter with what the goal is really going to be. And I think there's so many outcomes that's what scares people off. But just find one thing you want to do Make clinking ammo. Make an accurate 5.56 round. You know, make an accurate 308 round. Just find one goal and focus on that and go from there. I mean, because if you do try to do too many things at one time, you will get discouraged in reloading because there's just too many ways to go.
Yep. I'd say especially more so in rifle, because rifle you got a lot more steps.
Yeah, you do.
Like lubing your bullet cases.
Yeah, lube's important, man. And that's why I left in a comment earlier in the side chat that try not lubing 50 AE. People say, well, it's a straight walled case, you don't have to lube it. No, bullshit, man. It's surface area. It has to do with surface area. If you got a 50 AE cartridge and you think it's a straight wall cartridge, or fuck, even 357. I mean, you can not lube 357, but it helps a lot to lube 357. And I encourage everyone to lube everything. I used to lube everything. The only reason I quit lubing some of my 40 was the lube burns off, and it's smoky in your sight picture as well. So for my match grade 40 cal, I don't lube it anymore.
Well, Vosh Matrix out there says specifically to you, Pops, wow, this dude is super educational.
Well, I owe all that to Papa Les, SoCal, OBX Solwyn, and this is really what makes it special. I'm not smart. I'm only a product of people that have taught me and that I've made an effort to learn from. And all I'm trying to do is pass it on, right? And that's everyone that I've always said in life, you can tell when someone's passionate about something because they want to share the knowledge. So if you're passionate about something and you want to share that knowledge, it comes out. Like you can see it in a person. Like Chico Wise, fuck, he's a student and he's already passing on information because he's passionate about reloading ammunition, and it's a beautiful thing.
But he does it dirty South style and shit.
Hey, you know what? He's got his audience. I love it. You know, so
yeah.
Thanks,
Hey,
Pops.
you know, Papa Les helped me out one time, and you know what? I had Acme bullets, and I was getting like 2 out of 10 that were keyholing. Yeah, I mean, he's got on the phone. I'm down there at my press. I got my calipers. I'm giving him all my weights, my measurements, and stuff like that. And Scotsman, you remember this.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about, 20 minutes later, I went out there, shot him with, the new loads to the measurements he told me. And boom, keyholing was gone.
too much crimp.
Too much crimp. Yeah, you remember that. And a little bit too much powder. I was over pressurizing, the bullets. I was at that threshold where it would start over pressurizing.
Yeah, well, just like same thing. I called Papa one time. I had a problem, and I called him up and said, "Hey, man, this is going on. I prime some 44 mags, and the primers wouldn't come up." And I called him up, and I was talking to him, and he's like, "Well, look at the bottom of the brass. What is it? Is it Hornady brass? Is it this type of brass? What is it?" And I'm like, "Well, it's Hornady brass." So is it happening with any other type of brass? No. Every other type of brass runs up, knocks the primer up, no problem. It's like flash hole's too small. Call them up, let them know it's too small. They'll send you some more brass, send them that brass. Done.
Well, what you have to understand also is brass is not brass. There is a recipe to brass. There are different hardness grades to brass. Some brass, if you load a progressive press and you do this and then you go, oh, fuck this and this and that and the other thing, you learn quickly, but there are different manufacturers that spec different grades of hardness to their brass. And there are certain brass that you're like, I don't even want to load this. I'm going to throw that shit in the trash. I mean, it's to that point. And I get it. It's durability and it's a beautiful thing, but reloading in a progressive press will make you understand that there are different hardnesses of brass.
Man, I like it.
You can feel it when you're working it. You can feel how some is softer and some is harder. The soft is easier to, it's more malleable.
Yep,
But
and your primers as well. You shove a federal primer in a piece of brass, and it goes in like butter. You shove a CCI primer in there, or a toll primer, you can't even get them anymore. But you shove them in there, and it's a little bit of work, right? I mean, so and what's funny is they're made with different grades of brass as well. So that's what makes different primers easier to seat, but it also makes different primers easier to ignite. So the harder the primer, like a toll primer in a rifle case, it's harder to push it up in there. Guess what? It's harder to ignite as well. A federal match grade primer is the softest brass on planet Earth. So if you reload those, you'll notice they go in there easy, but they also ignite real easy. A CCI primer is like right in the middle. It loads nice, it shoots nice, but I prefer to match for my match grade ammo. I prefer the federal match grade primers. They're softer brass.
Yeah, I've heard predominantly people talking about the CCI primers and using CCI primers across the board for pistol rounds, rifle rounds. I've heard everybody brag about the CCI primers. Haven't heard too many people talk about the federal primers before, so that's good information.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you watched my video, but you know what the difference between a match grade primer and a standard primer is?
I don't think I caught that.
Well, a match grade primer is no different than a standard primer. It literally, there's no science difference, there's no specs difference, there's no chemical difference, there's nothing different whatsoever. The difference is when they have a shift, an 8-hour shift of the most experienced people at the plant that have been there for, let's say, 8 or 10 or 12 years. When that magical crew is together, everything they produce is considered match grade. That is it.
There you go.
Those are made by the most experienced people at that plant at that time. That's exactly it. And you might think I'm full of shit. That's the truth. That's the legitimate truth.
But the answer to your question, Alan, about $1 per 100.
So WTF SoCal's comment, money, it basically is what it boils down to, because they have to print the extra match grade on the side of the box, right?
Okay, right now, go and find federal primers and federal match grade primers on any bulk website, and they're the same fucking price. I swear to God. I'm not kidding. and listen, I buy these shit so much it's ridiculous. They're the same price. Now, I have a way to get them for cheaper, but if you price them anywhere, they're the same price.
My favorite primers are Winchester. I'll just tell you.
I know a lot of guys like Winchester. I've never fucked with them, so I didn't want to go there. But I've never
been a fan of Winchester primers. I've seen way too many failures at the range.
Remember, Pop's like the Gucci shit.
Hey, Scotsman, Alan, we got a question. We got somebody who's got a question in the side chat. Red wanted to know if we're still talking about reloading. He left, he came back. He wants to know if we're going to talk about another subject. Okay, well, let's take 5 seconds to talk about Red.
I love that
Red's
guy.
Awesome guy.
All right, Red, let's move on.
Shotgun master.
Okay, back to reloading.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll wait. We could all just Hey, we could all just go through here and say what our favorite shotgun is. That would be Red material.
There you go.
Let's start with the Crazy Scotsman since he's hosting this.
Well, mine so far that I've had today is my old 870 Wingmaster.
There you go.
I like my 870 Tactical.
I like my fucking Mossberg 500 Tactical. Peaches.
My old Remington 1187.
I also like a Mossberg 500.
Yeah.
Browning BPS long barrel.
There you go. 10 gauge.
Browning A5.
Ooh,
Damn, look,
puppy.
shit. Everyone's across the board. Who's left? Who's left? I want to go last. Who's left?
You.
That's it?
No,
Yeah.
Sweet. Did Sweet say anything?
Honestly, I have like a shotgun up in PA, but that's one thing that I haven't really got into too much is shotguns, and I really want to. So I really don't have a good opinion on that one yet.
Well, I have my favorite shotgun is the Benelli M4. Okay, and it's a little pricey. I get that, so that's the downside. But the Remington, what is it? The 1100 holds the world record of 24,000 shots without a single malfunction.
Yep.
So
I had an 1100 back in the late 70s and early 80s. That was a great.
I'm sorry, you were cutting off on my end. What did you say? What shotgun was it?
Remington 1100, 24,000 rounds without a malfunction or cleaning. That's a badass shotgun, and I own several of them for that reason. I mean, they're awesome.
I think we made Red happy. It made a lot of comments since.
Well, that precludes me into, you know, we got a number of people that reload on the panel. Would anybody or does anybody reload shotgun rounds?
I have.
I've thought about it, but for what I can buy the shotgun ammo for, it's way too cheap for me to buy it versus reloading it.
I think only like competitive shooters even reload that stuff, you know?
Nope. No, it's not worth it right now. Sorry.
Really?
No.
Wow.
What I can tell
I've got cases upon cases of shotgun ammo that I bought so cheap it's not even funny.
I agree with Crazy Scotsman, but what I can tell you on the Reloaders Network, we got a lot of guys that reload shotgun ammo over there.
Well, I could put fucking full dimes and fish hooks and shit in there. Hey, listen, I can make it cool, right? But I mean, for the purchasing power, it's just not worth it. You know, so.
Well, they tend to reload buckshot and slugs is what they do. Go ahead, Daniel. I'm sorry.
I was going to say he can put a $150 and nickels in there and use that there. And Chico, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. I know that he's not on the panel, but Loads of Bacon, who runs the Reloaders Network, he reloads shotgun ammo. He's in the side chat.
Nothing wrong. It makes sense if you're shooting slugs. That's what you're
listen,
saying.
I got ammo mafia privilege, so I bought almost 1,000 rounds of slugs and Magnum buckshot for $1.50 for 15 rounds. So there's not beneficial for me to do it, but I do own a mech 12 gauge reloader thing, and I have a shitload of shot shell and hulls and all that shit, and I even bought the primers to do it with, and I got like 16 pounds of tightwad, but I swear to God, I have never been motivated to pull that handle. But one day when I am, I'll be ready.
Well, and that's actually one of the main reasons why I wanted to just get into reloading was to have the skill, know how to do it, have the equipment to be able to do it. I know eventually it's going to help me in the fact of I will be shooting even more than what I do now. So it's beneficial all the way around.
Inside, didn't you mess with shotgun reloading back earlier? You're saying you're on mute, buddy.
Yes. In the late 70s and 80s, I dated a girl whose dad was a doctor, and he used to reload all of his shotgun shells. So I helped reload shotgun shells back then, back when we were dove hunting and duck hunting, and tons of shotgun shells back then.
But what was his motivation? Was it the cost or having the correct round to kill the birds?
Yeah, you know, he was one of those guys that bought everything in bulk. When you went to his house, I mean, he had closets full of lifeguard soap. And, you know,
Okay.
he would get deals on stuff and he would just get bulk of it. So his deal was probably producing just a bulk of shotgun shells.
Scott,
I guess. But it was fun to learn with him and to see how he did it.
don't lie. His motivation was to, as
Was
long as
me
he knew
dating
you
his
were
daughter.
at that loading bench, you wasn't with his daughter.
He was a Y2K prepper, probably.
He would have been smart if he tried to keep me away from his daughter, that's for sure.
Well, that's exactly what he was doing by sitting your ass in front of the press.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's occupy this fucker's brain for a minute.
The upper brain.
Yeah, well, whatever.
I was a bad boy. Sorry.
Hey, man, my path changed. You know, I've been a cabinet maker for 30 years, but before that, my path was horrible.
So you're talking about the dangers of the risk of reloading, but yeah, you've got a history of it with the bike racing and all of that fun stuff too. So you've been living on the edge for a while.
Yeah, I'm not scared of dying because I've lived my life. You know what I mean? I'd fucking die tomorrow. It wouldn't matter to me. I just don't want to go out in vain, you know. So, but again, I'll go back to the passion. You know, you can tell someone's passion by what they want to share, and I just love that. I love the fact everyone here. Every time I click on one of y'all's videos and you're sharing something, I'm like, well, they're fucking passionate about that. They believe in this, blah, blah, blah. And that's really what I love about YouTube. I don't like the random shit. I literally won't watch another video unless it's somebody that I know that's doing a video about something they love. And I know that narrows it down, but that's YouTube for me, and I love it.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being selective. That always helps. I mean, yeah, especially the thing about it is that you already know the people here in the panel, what they're passionate about. And I mean, obviously it's something that you know, maybe can help you broaden up your perspective on things, or can you know, just educate some people. I mean, honestly, I've learned a lot more from a lot of you guys than I've ever learned before. You know, it's a great community to be part of. I'm very happy to be part of it.
A lot of times too, just with that as well, you know, I'll click on one of Pop's videos, or maybe Tactical Swedes video, or Insights video, whoever it may be, and it just because I know them, that just makes my day that little bit better. I may be having a really shitty day, and I jump on that video and sit there and watch that 2-3 minute video, 5-minute video, or 10-minute video if it's a Pops video, you know.
Or you know, you want to cheer up, just go watch a stupid video from Rich. Perfect.
Yeah. It just makes sure.
Or just watch Yankee Marshall.
I love it. I fucking love it. I love it. That's it. I needed to cheer up. Thank you, brother. You know what you're gonna get. You know, Rich is fucking awesome, man. I love that guy.
Now, Mario, see, I know you're in the military, and in a few years you're going to be retired. So you got to.
No, I'm looking forward to that shit.
Well, yeah, you're looking. I mean, where are you going to retire at? You got to get your wife on board to look at all these guys that watch your channel. That way, she'll tell you she's done it.
Yeah, yes, sir. I know what you're talking about, and believe me, I have been trying to get her mentality to start thinking about moving someplace else. Well, my oldest daughter's recently going to get a job opportunity in Washington State. Washington State is very liberal too, and
yeah, you don't want to go to Washington, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, shit, I don't want to go there, but I really would like to go to Arizona. Actually, I would love to work in customs.
Arizona's the wild, wild west, man.
That's what I like about it, bro. I mean, shit, come on, yeah, 50 BMG, I'm down like a motherfucker.
Ain't nobody telling you what you can do and what you can't do with guns.
Exactly. Well, see, the thing is, I want to go work in customs, man, and that's perfect right there. I'll go work on the border and, you know, catch all these cartel
you
bastards.
won't have to acclimate too much to the climate change from where you're at to Arizona, too.
No, I won't. No, and I look darker, too, man. I'm going to look Aborigine and shit.
Yeah, that's like the one...
You're on the right side of the border because they might get you confused.
Yeah, I mean, you with your background, you can obviously get a job immediately with border security. And then you could move to where you want to move. You know, that would be cool to move to Arizona and get a job you love, and you know, and have freedom to do what you want with your firearms. That would be a great 10-year career after your career. You know, that would be nice.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and that's what I you know, because my biggest thing, I guess the biggest factor I tell my wife is like, well, you're not too far from your sister, your mom, and blah blah blah, you know. And I'm just, you know, I just I really started looking at the whole Sedona area and all those other area down there. It's very pretty, still, you know, still
beautiful. Yeah.
If you're gonna go Arizona, I spent a lot of time out in Arizona. Probably 3/4 of my career was out in Arizona, and like up north is the better place, like Sedona, Flagstaff, like all up in that area. Stay away from Phoenix and freaking what the hell's Tucson? Like
well, yeah,
it's too hot and too busy.
Yeah, the thing about it is, I believe there's no state tax in Arizona, right?
Yeah, but state tax is nothing anyway. I mean, fuck, the feds is what's killing us.
Yeah.
You can come to Tennessee if you
much at all.
Yeah. But
Philip Smith out in the side chat. Philip Smith says Iowa is better.
Fuck that.
I gotta get the fuck out of this state. I'm counting the days until I move.
Iowa any better? Every time I gone there, all I see is corn. You see corn.
If you move to Arizona, all you have to do is grow a beard. The Negro will leave you alone because they'll be thinking that you're not Mexican, that you're Indian. And
you know, that's a good point, dude. I've put myself some little fucking feathers and shit. I'm down. I'll be called Chief. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, you can get Department of the Interior might hire you as a, you know, like one of those. You know, you might go back and forth across the border to. Like,
shit, man. I'll go work for the reservation. I'll say I'm not
be a special agent. Like, you know?
My name is Chief Slapperhole.
Slapperhole. No, seriously, man. I've been to the fucking to the reservation, or to the Apache reservation, and motherfuckers thought I was like fucking one of them and shit. I was like, hey, fuck it, gives me a job. I'll be one of you. Shit, I'm down.
I spent a lot of time in Mexico. I love Mexico. There's a lot of beauty in Mexico, and it's a great country. It's just a shame they need the support that they do to have to come here. You know.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, of course. It's just there's a lot of there's corruption in every country, but to them over there, it's like very obvious, and then. Because they're so powerful and so much money that nobody does anything to them.
I'm offended. There's no corruption in our political system here.
Oh, shit.
In America?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God,
it's all up to the voters, yeah.
Explain to me how Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, whatever her fucking name is, becomes a congressman, man. Explain that shit to me. You don't tell me that's not corruption?
Just saying her name makes my head hurt.
Mario, hey man, she's great to make I don't think that bitch can spell her own name. She's one of the dumbest fucking people I've ever heard of in my life.
How did she get a degree from Boston University? I swear to God, I question that institution.
Is that okay?
Socialist. The dancing socialist.
Yes. The one that gets high five in the air. That fucking bitch. Anyways,
I'm curious what Pops is picking up.
I'm just trying to pick out some fucking boots.
Well, what are you doing, Pops? Oh, you're breaking shit. You're breaking shit.
I'll break any nice bottles of.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, I'll be your best friend. Hook that shit
this
up.
This is the vault of gifts that I haven't even looked at for like 5 years, but. Apparently, this was in there, so I think I'll take some.
Oh, is that on your next giveaway?
Oh. You want some of this? I'll send you some. I'll send you a glass full in the U.S. mail. How about
that? Hey, Pops. Hey, just another subject. Did you ever come up with an alternative to fucking Etsy for your loaders?
Yeah, but my alternative sucks too. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm taking orders on Shopify, but that's not going to last, so I didn't want to put it out there. Anyway, I just need to create my own website, and I'm just too lazy because the cabinet business is really good right now. So anyway, anybody out there want to
KB do it for you?
Yeah,
Anybody out
I
there
was just
print
about
my
to grab
letters
one
for
from
print?
you, and then it shut down.
Yeah. Anybody want to build a website and be my retailer? I'll send you 1,000 of them, and you can do your own thing and whatever. But yeah, just let me know. We can work something out. So,
well, Measuring Grain says in the side chat to sell the stuff on the Reloaders Network.
Well, I can
Load
tell them
Bacon
on
says he
channel,
sells on the
but
Reloaders Network.
yeah, YouTube don't like that too much. So
Reloaders Network is www.
Oh, so it's not part of YouTube?
No, it's a whole
I feel
separate
bad here because I'm not. The reason I haven't really checked out Reloads Network is because y'all always do these chats on Friday. And I'm like, Friday nights are no good for me because I shoot a match every Saturday, so I'm no good on Fridays. So
yeah, no, the Reloaders Network is separate, completely separate. You can upload videos to YouTube.
meditation
You
and
can
shit,
use
bro.
Gunstreamer and many others to upload the videos themselves, but unfortunately there's not a video platform itself per se for the Reloaders Network, but the network itself is a separate website.
Yeah, Loads of Bacon's mentioning that he sells stuff on there, and I know there's some merchandise stuff on there for sure because I've checked out some of the merchandise that's linked through there. So,
all right. Well, the other thing is I don't need to sell them because the cabinet business is good right now, but at some point in time, I usually sell them to support my ego, pretty much. So, but and if anybody here wants them, just let me know. I'll just send them to you.
I'm down, man.
Yeah. All you have to do is find a way to send me your email address. Matter of fact, in the side chat here in the private, I'll put my email address. Just send me your address, and I'll send one your way. Not that there's any benefit to me selling them right now, but I just like putting them in hands of people that love them. I mean.
Oh, the one that I have is been God sent. It helps a lot. It's super simple to use. It feeds in like butter. I love it.
I think I hand loaded last Friday going down to meet with JR down there. JH, I mean, about 8 magazines by hand, and basically just sat in the floor, shoving them in one by one, kind of slow. So
yeah, Scott, send me your email, your address. I'll send you one. I'd love to send you one. So
I'll gladly PayPal you some money too.
There, Pops. There's his address. It's in our site.
Man, I won't know that shit tomorrow. You got to email it to me.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and start going through the room. We will start with the Dirty South.
Hey guys, thanks for being here. Hey, it was a great topics. We had some structure. I think we did, but
structure.
Man, look at you with your big dictionary words, fucker.
Right. Look, we helped some guys out, especially guys on our panel, Mario, and I want to say thank you to everyone in the side chat and our panel. So that's it from the Dirty South.
All right, thank you, brother. Appreciate you as always, Daniel.
Well, hey everybody. One thing we haven't had tonight was the gun check, and yes, I got the CZ here with Olight, and
nice.
Yep. And thank you, everybody. I love you. Are you threatening Mario? Are you threatening me?
Simone, really?
You threatening me?
Inside.
This motherfucker went and got the drill.
Yeah. This one was very informative. Thanks for doing this. Thanks to the Reloaders Network, to Jamie for taking the time to meet up with me last week. I love meeting up with fellow YouTubers. I like talking with you. Jamie, I know we probably shot more than we talked, laughed a lot. So thank you for doing that. But yeah, I'm just recovering from trying to throw together that ridiculously long video for my sister-in-law for her 50th birthday right now. So I need sleep and then serious work to catch up with what I lost doing that. So thanks, guys. Pops, thanks for popping in. You're a wealth of information. I wish you could have pulled out the whiteboard and broken down this for us. So you're good. I still have the best
Professor Pops and shit.
Pops breaking down with Rick about the tea expense and what he could save by not buying all those teas and how quickly he could get a shadow. I think it was a shadow 2 at the point. But
yeah, he never listened.
It's funny as fuck because he gets like 3 shades of fucking red when he gets really pissed off. And like it's fucking great. I love it.
Yeah, it's good. But thanks everybody in the side chat. I've tried to keep up with you without my reading glasses. It's a little bit fun, but I'll admit I'm an old fart. So
shit, I'm right behind you, bro.
All right, Jamie.
Thanks to everybody in the side chat. Y'all been popping over there. We can't keep reading them fast enough. Pops, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Scott, it was a pleasure to meet you. I've got 35 Remington Load 8s in the can, ready to go to the Reloaders Network. Hopefully it'll be up sometime tomorrow. I'm wanting to do a video of reloading for the Mauser. The Mauser was fun to shoot, Scott, and I appreciate you sharing the first shots with me on that. It was a pleasure meeting you, and we had a big time fun day, and it was a beautiful day, like I said earlier. But Scotsman, thanks for having me, and see all y'all next week, I hope.
Absolutely, always a pleasure, man. The one, the only Battle Bean.
Hey, hey guys. Great chat this weekend. I really appreciate it. This great Sunday night. Thank you, Pops, for coming in here and helping me out. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot to me that you decided to come out of the side chat and stop talking shit on the side chat and come up here and say something. It was great, brother. I really appreciate your time. Chico, always a pleasure, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Looking all intellectual with your glasses. I like it.
Yeah, you know how that
Yeah,
works.
man, go ahead. Dirty South style. Daniel looking like a fucking evil dark side Jedi, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. Oh, shit now. Scotty too, Hottie. Much love, brother. JH, you're awesome, brother. Thank you so much for all your knowledge, man. Much appreciated. And then this crazy sweet guy, I don't know about that dude, man. Crazy dude right there. And everybody in the side chat, God bless you guys. Thank you so much for all your help with this whole reloading venture for me. It's gonna be great. I look forward to getting more knowledge from it and learning from it. I know I have a lot of stupid questions I ask, but my thing is I don't know, and I rather ask a stupid question than not ask it at all. And of course, Mr. Iowa over there, much love to you, brother. You're weird, but we love you. You're kind of like that fucking mold, it just keeps growing. Love it. And of course, my boy Crazy Scotsman, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate your friendship, and I appreciate you always letting me be part of this panel of crazy fuckers. And to everybody in the side chat, much love, and hopefully we'll see you next weekend.
Awesome. Always a pleasure, brother. Always. Pops.
I appreciate you having me on. Like I said, I'm very passionate about what I do, and please share your passions with your friends and anyone that was willing to listen. I feel like if you love something, share it. That's kind of how I live my life. So thanks for having me on here to share what I love. I love all you guys, and that's part of sharing. So thank you.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't say it better.
No homo. Remember that.
Whatever.
It's true.
I just fuck with you.
we all have various pieces of knowledge, and it's our duty to pass it on. The fact that we love it and we love passing it on, that's a big difference. All right, Tactical Swede.
Gotta get my radio voice on. Thanks for having me on the chat once again. Man, I gotta get my ass out of this fucking state so I can actually do more shooting and get some more stuff going on the main channel. I've been concentrating a lot on the B channel just because that's what I'm doing right now. Like Pops was saying, share what you love. So that's kind of why I started that channel, was just to do videos on other stuff that I like, other than the guns and the 2A stuff, which I love that stuff too, but right now I can't get out enough to do it to make any good content. So concentrating on the other stuff, having fun with that, love to share that stuff. So as always, I love hanging out with you guys on Sundays. It's always like kind of the awesome part of the week. Everybody in the side chat, man, you guys have been blowing it up. We'll catch you guys on the next one, hopefully.
Awesome. Always good to have you, brother. Thank you very much. Guys, again, please check out the Reloaders Network. The link is in the description below. There will be a video coming out this week from me and many others on the panel here for the Reloaders Network giveaway. Again, I had a subscriber reach out to me. They have a Lee press kit, which they donated to do this giveaway. So absolutely awesome. I can't thank them enough. Very, very cool. So watch out for that coming out and be sure to enter. And with that, we're going to kick it over to Alan B. Pro to end this. And over to you, brother.
Thank you, man. It has been an absolutely great chat. I gotta say, I'm just gonna be getting started into the reloading thing. I've got a number of things on order coming in. One, measuring grains during the chat kicked me out a tracking number, so I guess I've got something coming from measuring grains as well. I am absolutely pumped about it. I'm excited to travel down that rabbit hole. I've got an absolute wealth of knowledge from my buddies and my family out here on YouTube, and I greatly appreciate everybody that comes to the chat and shares. And thanks everybody in the side chat. It's been a great one. So I will be probably sharing more of my reloading stuff coming in as it comes in. But other than that, keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Have yourselves a great night.
Hey, Alan.